Well, good afternoon. We're here to announce some insurance reform legislation, taking on a variety of different practices, reforms that we need to modernize our insurance code. And you'll hear about eliminating credit scoring, the unfair practice of basing auto insurance rates on credit scores, as well as consumer protection and holding insurance companies accountable for excessive rates, as well as opening up the Michigan Catastrophic Claims Association. So I'm joined by several of my colleagues, and during these difficult economic times, this legislation will protect Michigan consumers and will provide them with the relief that they need for insurance rates that have been skyrocketing here in the state of Michigan. And as you know, with the no-fault provisions we have one of the most expensive forms of insurance and one of the most generous benefit packages that we want to continue to protect. And at the same time, we think that there are abuses that we can help consumers with and draw the line. Very specifically, I'm going to talk about the excessive insurance rates. Representative Simpson will talk about credit scoring, Representative Sack about the Catastrophic Claims Association, and Representative Virgil Smith will talk about the time gap issue in lag and having insurance lag only to have your rates increased. As you may know, the insurance code, unfortunately, is not as simple as saying that if rates are excessive, in other words, the rate charged to consumers is far in excess of the cost of providing that insurance, it goes beyond that in trying to find that a rate is excessive. We're going to clarify that the definition of excessive within the insurance code should mean that the rate goes well beyond, that the consumer is being charged well beyond any form of cost being charged that the insurance company providing that insurance faces. That should be the definition of excessive. Moreover, the insurance code right now denies the Office of Financial and Insurance Services Commissioner the ability to order a refund when a finding of excessiveness is mandated. In other words, if the Office Commissioner finds that rates are well beyond the cost of providing that insurance and there's been a violation, right now the insurance code doesn't provide the consumers who have been gouged a refund. That's wrong, and this package would correct it. Finally, the package will empower consumers to be able to pursue their own actions against insurance companies that gouge them, that charge them excessive rates well beyond any form of the cost that costs to provide that insurance. With these basic changes, we will put power back in the hands of consumers and enable them to have a fair rate in this state. No longer will consumers in the state of Michigan have to suffer through excessive rate charging by our insurance companies, and no longer will they have a system in which they are totally blocked from getting any kind of relief once they've been charged excessive rates. With that, I want to turn it over to Representative Simpson to talk about credit scoring.
Thank you. The credit scoring portion of the package aims at simply reforming the fact that insurance companies right now use all kinds of gimmicks and all kinds of relationships to your credit as to whether or not you should receive a reduction in your premium. And quite frankly, how quickly you pay your Sears bill has no connection to your driving record, and it shouldn't have. The reality is that what happens is our young people today that don't have any credit are penalized because they're young and they don't have credit. People that live in the urban and inner city communities, the poorest of our communities, those people are unfairly targeted and pay unduly high rates because of credit scores. In Michigan's economy today, things are tough and people are getting laid off every single day. And the relationship between your driving record and your credit score is night and day. It's salt and pepper. It should not exist. It's that simple. How well you drive and your driving record has no connection to how quickly you pay your Sears bill. And this portion of the legislation aims at fixing that problem and taking that out of the arsenal of the insurance company and putting it back in favor of the consumer where it should be.
Thank you, Representative Simpson. Mine's just clearly it deals with the MCCA, the Michigan Catastrophic Claims Association. We've got the 4 pieces of legislation already introduced. We've been working on this, or at least I have been, along with my Democratic colleagues for the past 5 years. The MCCA, as you know, is the publicly created body that deals with catastrophic claims across for the citizens of the state of Michigan. The 4 issues that we have with regards to the MCCA is, one, that the FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, that we are interested in the documents and we are not interested in the health care records of any individual or citizens across the state of Michigan. They are already protected by HIPAA. Second, we want them to be in compliance with the Open Meetings Act. Once again, we're looking at the financial aspects of it and not the internal health records of the individuals impacted by the MCCA. Representative LeBlanc has legislation that has been introduced dealing with expanding the board. It's a 5-member existing board right now appointed by the OFIS commissioner. And in my opinion, these are the foxes guarding the hen house. These are the 5 largest insurance agents, representatives of the insurance companies across the state of Michigan, and they are the ones who are setting the rates. And then we want to expand that to a 9-member board, 3 appointed by OFIS that would be representatives of the community, and 1 dealing with insurance agents. And then finally, they do an internal audit, but we're asking that an external audit be dealt with. And just for information, in 2001, the MCCA charged, which is a separate fee on your insurance rates of $14.41. In 2007, it's an additional $123, a total of $123 other than your premium. This is a tacked-on fee dealing with the MCCA, and we're very much concerned about these significant increases and how it impacts our motoring public across the state of Michigan. At this time, I'd like to introduce Representative Virgil Smith.
Thank you, Representative Sack. We will be taking up the MCCA bills on November 8th in the House Insurance Committee. That's at 10:30. That's when we usually meet. So November 8th, 10:30. We'll be dealing with the 4 MCCA bills. Another thing that we would, or another issue that we would like to get at is when an individual who cannot afford their insurance premium did not renew their insurance, and then when they come back to renew it, when they get their money together, insurance companies usually tack on some extra fees for not renewing it at that time to make your premium more expensive. We would like to get rid of that gap. We call it a time gap. We would like to get rid of that time gap, and so the insurance companies cannot have that measure where they can hype up your bill to excessive rates, where it's as simple as you just did not have the money to pay for your premium at that time. That is ludicrous, and that practice needs to stop. And at this time, I think we're going to close, so I'm going to pass it back to Steve Tabachman.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman. In those 4 areas, we think we will provide consumers with the protections that they need, that they have been denied here in the state of Michigan. Reforming the excessive rate charge, making sure that credit scores are no longer considered as part of your insurance costs, opening up the Michigan Catastrophic Claims Association, and getting rid of the time gap surcharge will provide Michigan consumers with the same kind of protections that other states have. And appreciate this has been a really, truly team effort. There are a number of representatives here who are sponsoring various aspects of the bill, and a very important issue to consumers around the state of Michigan.